Welcome back to EG Financials. Today we're taking a look at the updated real estate market forecast for home prices. We'll be looking at Fannie Mae, Mortgage Bankers Association, Zillow, CoreLogic, Freddie Mac, and then we'll also take a look at the 30-year fixed mortgage. We have forecasts from Fannie Mae and Mortgage Bankers Association at the bottom. And after we're done looking at these numbers, we'll take a look at Fannie Mae's latest report, which came out yesterday, and I'll go through some of the key highlights, and they also included some great charts to look at. So on the left-hand side, we have their updated forecast numbers as of November. And then on the right-hand side, we have their numbers that they released in October. So we can compare the two, but we'll start off by looking at November. We have Fannie Mae expecting the year to end 6.7% higher than last year. So year-over-year return of 6.7%. And then for 2024, they're expecting home prices to increase 2.8%. And then in 2025, they're expecting home prices to slightly decrease by 0.4%. Mortgage Bankers Association is expecting 2023 to end the year 5.7% higher, and they're expecting 2024 to increase by 4.1%, and in 2025 they're expecting home prices to increase 3.3%. Zillow is expecting 2024 to decrease by 0.1%. CoreLogic is expecting 2024 home prices to increase 2.6%. And Freddie Mac is expecting home prices in 2023 to end the year 5.4% higher, and then in 2024, 2.6% higher. And then I do have the averages on the bottom row of this table. So for 2023, these forecasts are averaging about 5.9% for 2023, and then 2024 about 2.4%, and in 2025, 1.5%. So the most optimistic for 2024 is Mortgage Bankers Association. Let's compare November numbers versus October numbers, which they released last month. So Fannie Mae is unchanged with their forecast. They just included 2025. Last month they didn't have that forecast. So now they're expecting 2025 to decrease by 0.4%. And then Mortgage Bankers Association actually increased their forecast for home prices. Last month, in their projections, they're expecting a 1.1% increase for 2024 home prices. Now they're expecting a 4.1% increase. 2025 is about the same, just slightly higher. And then when looking at Zillow, they went from expecting a 2.2% increase in home prices down to a decrease of 0.1%. CoreLogic is also decreasing their forecast down to 2.6% from 3.4%. And Freddie Mac increased their forecast for home prices in 2024. Now they're expecting 2.6%. Last month, they were expecting only a 0.8% increase. And another way to look at it is just by looking at the average of all these forecasts. So last month, the average was 2.1% increase in home prices. And now with all the updated forecasts, these institutions on average are expecting a 2.4% increase in 2024. Let's see if I can squeeze in 2024 from September numbers as well. So here we go. So Fannie Mae increased their home price forecast for 2024. Back in September, they were expecting a slight decrease of 0.7%. Now they're at 2.8%. And then if we look at Mortgage Bankers Association, they also increased it. Back in September, they were expecting a 1.1% increase in 2024. Now with their most recent forecast, they're expecting 4.1% increase. And then if we look at Zillow, they've had a big decrease in their forecast for home prices. Back in September, they were expecting about 5% increase in home prices for 2024, and now they're expecting a slight decrease. CoreLogic was expecting a 3.5, they went down to 3.4, and now they're down to 2.6 for 2024. And Freddie Mac increased their 0.8 forecast up to 2.6 in 2024. And again, if we look at averages, in September for 2024, the average was 1.9% increase in home prices, then 2.1, and now a 2.4. So it seems like the trend is higher overall when we're looking at these institutions. And now let's go down to the 30-year fixed mortgage rate. So we have Fannie Mae expecting 2023 to end at 6.9%, and then 2024 ending at 7.3%, and a decrease down to 6.9% in 2025. And then we have Mortgage Bankers Association. They're expecting 2023 to be at 7.5%, 2024 6.1%, and 2025 mortgage rates to be at 5.5%. And before I continue over to the commentary from Fannie Mae, make sure you subscribe so you get these updates. So I went through the report and made some key highlights. We remain in the camp of forecasters predicting a mild recession in 2024, with real GDP declining 0.4% on a Q4 over Q4 basis. We anticipate that the recession will be brief, and for 2025 as a whole, we forecast the economy to expand by 1.6%. We expect the unemployment rate to peak at 5.4% in the middle of 2025, with core inflation trending toward the Federal Reserve's 2% target. We forecast mortgage rates to decline gradually over the next 2 years. When mortgage rates do ease, we expect sales will begin to rebound, albeit modestly due to the ongoing lock-in effect. And here we start to get into some of the charts that they provided in the report. It shows actual data, historical data, and also shows our current forecast and prior forecast. So here we're looking at economic growth, which is real GDP. And we can see that in 2024, they're still expecting that recession, a mild recession that they mentioned, and that's represented by this negative growth. Next, they have a chart looking at the unemployment rate. So here we have that peak of high unemployment during the pandemic, and then in 2023, we're starting to see an increase in the unemployment rate, and they've actually increased their forecast for the unemployment rate. You can see that the prior forecast was slightly lower, and now they're expecting it to be higher in 2024 and 2025. Next, we're looking at the chart for CPI, which is inflation. Their baseline expectation is that the Fed will not raise rates further this cycle, but will keep policy tight until it's clear that the inflationary pressures have abated. And here we can see that inflation peaked back in 2022, and we've been decreasing since then, but we have a long way to go until we get to the 2% target. And around mid-2024, early 2025, they're expecting to see inflation flatten out. And lastly, here we have their chart for mortgage rates. We can see that for 2024 and 2025, we'll continue to see a slight decrease in mortgage rates. Out by 2025, they're expecting mortgage rates to be in the 6s. And that's it for today. Make sure you subscribe for more updates and like the video. We do update this data monthly, and I hope you're enjoying the content. Thanks.